It's a declaration by Governor Sisolak, and we'll also have a letter from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department advising them that they will need to shut down.
If they fail to do so,
we will take enforcement action that may include citations, criminal citations, and or, per the governor's directive, a gross misdemeanor charge.
In some cases, there could be long-term ramifications.
The penalties really aren't just limited to a temporary shutdown. For that kind of a willful violation, they could be permanently shut down.
We need to put up strong barriers to ensure the waters don't overtake us. We have to slow down the flow so that our healthcare system can manage this challenge in the short term.
Yeah, that's right. This is kind of weird because this parking lot is deserted. That building is locked up. The hotel's locked up. The sports book locked up. Of course, this time last year, there was pandemonium here for March Madness. The NCAA basketball tournament should have started last night with 16 games last night, another 16 tonight. All canceled, though, because of the COVID-19 outbreak, and along with it, a big weekend for thousands of visitors who would be filling up a lot of hotel rooms. This is the kind of March Madness we're used to seeing in sportsbooks all over Las Vegas. Instead, at the Westgate Superbook and other sportsbooks around town, a kind of madness that's impossible to imagine.
It's eerie to a certain extent, disappointing, knowing that we're missing out on one of our top two events of the year. But again, the bigger picture is the most important thing that we're dealing with right now.
Superbook VP Jay Cornegay understands why it's happening, but it's hard to comprehend for anyone who's ever been inside a Las Vegas sports book this time of year.
Most of our conversations that I've had with my colleagues are just about the disbelief. It doesn't seem real.
Brian Gordon with Applied Analysis says losing this particular weekend is a big part of the larger economic picture, and it could take months to fully understand the impact on the local economy.
We have 150,000 hotel rooms sitting vacant today. Those would typically be at 98, 99% occupancy. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. It's a ghost town, and that's devastating in this particular weekend when we would be generating a significant amount of economic activity as well as public revenues for state and local businesses.
According to CNBC, the handle on Nevada sports betting between January and May of last year was $2.2 billion. That generated almost $116 million in revenue and almost $8 million in taxes to the state.
Well, Gerard, earlier this week, the federal government directed all nursing homes to not allow non-medical personnel or staff inside the buildings in an all-out attempt to curb the spread of the coronavirus. But now lots of nursing facilities are having to get a little creative with how they interact with family members. It's quiet outside Poets Walk in Henderson. A new normal, as no visitors are allowed to come through these doors.
We've buttoned up the access points really tight.
Mark Schaefer is the director of the memory care facility. As cases of the coronavirus continue to escalate, he's enacted severe changes to the facility. Only medical personnel and staff can enter after taking their temperature and washing their hands. Relatives cannot.
This quarantine is absolutely essential for my mom.
Carolyn Batten says she won't be able to hug or kiss her mom for the foreseeable future. But Poets Walk is using technology to keep in touch with loved ones so they can stay close during this hard time.
We've hooked up, we've got a 54-inch screen TV where we do FaceTime with families.
A relief for family members like Carolyn.
It's reassuring, to see her and see her well.
Carolyn says she understands why these new rules are so strict. The coronavirus has hit senior facilities across the nation, including 35 deaths tied to a facility in Seattle. News 3 previously visited Poets Walk facility before this federal direction. Since then, Mark says field trips like these are suspended, but they're boosting residents' morale through singing, dancing, and one-on-one activities.
We are doing all sorts of psychosocial programs inside as far as keeping them engaged, keeping them feeling like they're not isolated.
And for Carolyn, that's all she can hope for until the storm passes.
And I just have to trust that she's safe in here when I'm not here to be able to visit and check in on her.
Hi, good evening. The Las Vegas Raiders have a new weapon at wideout. 26-year-old Nelson Agholor is reportedly signing a one-year deal with the Silver and Black. In 2018, he helped the Eagles win their first ever Super Bowl, but in 5 years with Philly has struggled with consistency. A knee injury kept him out of 5 games last year, and he's got a reputation for dropping key passes in big moments. Hopefully, this change of scenery is what he needs. Meanwhile, UNLV working to address the needs of its spring sports athletes whose seasons were canceled due to the coronavirus. I spoke with Athletics Director Desiree Reed-Francois about that and the NCAA offering those student athletes an extra year of eligibility.
We went and we met with all of our teams, and it's a challenge, right? I met with my softball team, and I can't say there weren't tears, because there were. This is a team that had a wonderful trajectory and was probably going to make the NCAA postseason. Same with our men's tennis team. They were 12-1. And for our seniors, they don't get a senior day. They don't get to play in the NCAA tournament. But this is bigger than sports.
It really is. I imagine, though, that if any of them that you've spoken with have heard about this extra year of eligibility, is that something that they're interested? Have you heard that? I mean, they're putting their life on hold for almost a year.
You know, it's going to have to be a case by case. We have some student athletes that are admitted to law school or want to go to medical school or have jobs starting. And so it's a case by case analysis.
The full interview can be found at news3lv.com. And here at News 3, it has been a strange week for sports. Here's Jesse Merrick with some help to get sports fans through it.
The NBA is suspending the season.
The NCAA tournament has been canceled for 2020.
The NHL just announcing that they are pausing the season due to the coronavirus.
Look, there's no denying that there are bigger things going on in the world right now than just sports. But if you're a sports fan like me, you can't deny that this week has sucked. And obviously you're trying to fill the void now left by all these leagues put on pause during this time of social distancing and self-isolation. Maybe you've already flown through your bookcase, logged your fair share of shut-eye, sanitized your desk more times than you'd like to admit, made sure you're at least 6 feet away from your coworkers, even cursed all those idiots out there ignoring health officials.
What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah, I don't get that one, but by now you've probably also logged too many hours on Netflix or played way too many video games, then tried your hand at that whole stay-at-home challenge. Well, now thanks to our favorite sports leagues, we can all relive some of those moments that we've missed so much. Because the NFL offered fans free access to NFL Game Pass until May 31st, which lets you watch replays of any game dating back to 2009. The NBA followed soon after, offering its NBA League Pass free till April 22nd. Vegas-born fans, we didn't forget about you. The Golden Knights are also re-airing Knights games on AT&T Sportsnet every night at 7 o'clock. But if you want more of the slick stuff, NHL.tv is being offered free through April 30th. Oh, and one more thing. Would you wash your hands?
For Pete's sake, wash those hands. A couple more coronavirus notes. U.S. Track has joined USA Swimming in asking for the Olympics to be postponed. Also, the 2020 Ice Hockey World Championship has been canceled because of coronavirus. Gerard?
All right, thank you, Amber. We'll be right back.